Thank you, Nishan. Good morning, everyone. So, I welcome all of you to beautiful campus of MAHE, Dubai. With us, honorable dignitaries, esteemed guests, distinguished speakers, respected colleagues, and dear participants. It's with an immense pride and great joy that I extend my warmest welcome to you all to the second International Conference on Data Science and Exploration in AI, which is Code AI 2025, organized by Department of IT, MIT Bangalore, MAHE, in collaboration with School of Engineering and IT, MAHE, Dubai, UAE. It's truly an honor to stand before such a distinguished gathering of researchers, academicians, industry leaders, and AI enthusiasts from across the world. This conference serves as a premium platform for exchanging an idea, fostering collaboration, and pushing the frontiers in AI and data science. So it's my absolute honor to extend a warm welcome to Dr. Narayana Sabhahit sir, Pro Chancellor of Technology and Science, MAHE. With his visionary leadership and unwavering commitment to academic excellence, he has been instrumental in driving innovation and research across MAHE. I welcome you, sir. I request our Dr. Iven, sir, Director MIT-Bengaluru, to hand over a sapling to sir. It's absolute honor to welcome Dr. Madhuvir Raghavan, Pro Chancellor MAHE Bangalore, in his absentia. A distinguished leader in academia and research, he has been the driving force behind the conference, offering unwavering support and visionary guidance. His invaluable contribution has played a vital role in shaping the event and elevating the standard of education and intellectual disclosure. So, through his unable to join in person, we sincerely appreciate his support and presence, and we extend a warm welcome to him. Next, I would like to extend my heartfelt welcome to Dr. Iven, Director of MIT Bangalore. Your leadership and innovation approach have significantly contributed to the growth of MIT Bangalore, shaping into its hub of excellence in technical education. Your unwavering support and encouragement have been instrumental in making Code AI 2025 a reality. We are truly honored to have you with us today, sir. I request our Sabhahit sir to hand over a sapling to sir. I'm delighted to extend a warm welcome to our chief guest, Professor Hong Lin from the University of Austin, USA. Your presence here today is truly an honor, and we greatly appreciate the valuable insights you will be sharing with us today. I request Dr. Narayana Sabhahit sir to hand over a sapling to our guest. Thank you, sir. A special welcome to our guest of honor, Dr. Jalil Piran from Sejong University, South Korea, whose expertise and contribution to AI and data science continue to inspire the global community. We welcome you, sir. I request Dr. Sudhindra, sir, to hand over sampling to our guest. I would like to welcome Mr. Niranjan Jaikumar, CEO Manipal Education, UAE, Dubai, and is not here now, but without us support, this event would have not been possible. I welcome you, sir. It's my pleasure, a great pleasure to welcome Sudhindra, Dr. Sudhindra Shamanna, Academic President of MAHE Dubai. His dedication to fostering global academic collaboration and his pursuit of excellence have enriched the MAHE community. Your presence here today is truly an honor, and we sincerely appreciate your time and support. I request Dr. Narayana Sabhahit sir to hand over a sapling to sir. I would like to welcome Dr. Pandey, SN Dean, and Dr. Sophia, Rahman, and Dr. Gururaj and Dr. Shreyas, who are all the co-team members of CodeAI for this. I welcome all of you for this inaugural function. I would like to warmly welcome Manorajan Padhy, Program Manager at FlutterFlow, whose presence adds an immense value to this event. We welcome you, sir. We are also thrilled to have an HP as our financial sponsor, whose support have essential in making CodeAI possible. A warm welcome to Mohammad Galim, AI senior consultant at IBM, whose expertise in AI is undoubtedly enrich our discussion. I think he'll join in sometime. He's our panel discussion member. So we thank IBM as a technical sponsor for us. We thank you, sir. And we are excited to have a Nokia as a partner, extending our support in terms of second day keynote speaker. We are very thankful for Nokia for extending the technical sponsor for us. We also extend our gratitude to Confab 360, fantastic work as a publicity partner. We are truly honored to have you with us today. We welcome you. And as we embark on this journey of knowledge sharing, we have lineup of keynote address, technical session, panel discussion, and research presentation that will highlight a groundbreaking advancement in AI and data science. I encourage one of you to actively participate, engage with the meaningful discussion, and take all the advantage of Code AI 2025. Let us use this conference not only as just a platform to exchange in knowledge, but as an avenue to collaborate, innovate, and inspire the wave of AI. So I welcome all the participants from abroad, all traveling all across abroad to MAHE Dubai campus, and many are from India. I welcome all of you for this Code AI conference. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Dr. Dayananda, for those inspiring words. And on behalf of the organizing committee at CodeAI 2025, I would like to invite Dr. Iven, Director MIT-Bengaluru, to officially welcome Dr. Dayananda. To invoke the blessings of knowledge, wisdom, and enlightenment, we shall now proceed with the lighting of the lamp ceremony, a symbolic tradition that signifies eradication of darkness and illumination of intellect. I invited esteemed dignitaries to kindly step forward for the lighting of the lamp.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين مالك يوم إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم.
As we embark on this remarkable academic journey, it's essential to understand the vision that has gone into the making of this conference. To provide us with deeper insights, I now invite Dr. Gururaj HL, Program Chair Code AI 2025, Associate Professor at the Department of Information Technology, MIT-Bengaluru, to deliver the opening remarks and share his insights about the conference. Please give him a warm round of applause.
Present here, respected dignitaries. I'm here to present the opening remark of Code AI 2025, which is the second international conference organized in collaboration with MIT-Bengaluru and MAHE Dubai campus. To begin with, we got a huge appreciation and huge number of audience for the Code AI 2024, which happened in MIT Bengaluru, organized by Department of Information Technology in association with the ASIM student chapter, MITB, and we received 725 papers across the globe in 2024. We got CG as a platinum sponsor, but for this Code AI 2025, again we received 521 papers across the globe. We have received the papers from Malaysia, London, Finland, Indonesia, Chicago, USA, Scotland, Dubai, Russia, Nigeria, Australia, China, and India. And we have made an acceptance ratio of 14%, which are pushing into a publishing partner, that's Springer CCIS. We have rejected 128 papers out of 521. And we have three categories of the platform in this conference. One is technical sessions where the research papers will be presented. We have poster presentation and we have PhD colloquium. And we have totally accepted formally those who are registered and they are presenting 93 papers, both day 1 and day 2. Out of which we are pushing all 73 papers to conference proceedings published by Springer. And we are pushing 12 papers based on the quality to the journal, and we have received huge papers for posters, and we have shortlisted 6 papers. Those are presenting offline, and we have 3 PhD colloquium thesis dissertation, which is going to happen tomorrow. This is a rough summary of papers what were received for 2025 Code AI. And this time we got a platinum sponsor from FlutterFlow, and we got technical sponsors by Nokia, HP, and IBM. And we have a couple of academic partners, University of Linus and University of Houston, and other partners we have. And we have also have partners with ASIM student chapter, MITB. They are the one who supported this event technically. This is a rough summary of this event. I think we all know that alone we cannot do little, but with collaboration we can do more, and we can dive into it. So with this brief introduction, I heartily welcome each and every delegate who come across over here as a part of this inaugural ceremony. Thank you so much for giving an opportunity to deliver this opening remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gururaj HL. Now, moving on to a special moment, we are pleased to announce the unveiling of the Code AI 2025 Conference Souvenir, a remarkable publication that highlights key insights, contributions, and the essence of this conference. I invite a distinguished guest onto the stage to join us for the release of the conference souvenir. To all the distinguished members present here and attendees, you can scan the given QR code to access the digital copy of the Code AI 2025 Souvenir. You can access a flipbook to access all the abstracts, all the papers, and the messages given by the patrons towards this conference. Now, I would like to invite Ms. Sophia Rahman, Program Director, MAHE Dubai School of Engineering and IT, Program Chair Code AI 2025, to introduce our chief guests.
Thank you, Mr. Nishant. Good morning to one and all. On behalf of the organizing committee, it's my privilege to introduce the chief guest for today. I would start off with Dr. Ling. Dr. Hong Ling, a professor in computer science at the University of Houston, USA. Besides holding a PhD in computer science from the University of Science and Technology of China, Dr. Ling also served as a postdoctoral research associate at Purdue University and assistant research officer at the National Research Council, Canada. Additionally, Dr. Ling currently holds positions as the supervisor of Grid Computing Lab, co-founder of the Data Center, and serves as a program director for the Master of Science in Artificial Intelligence at the University of Houston in USA. Welcome, sir. As an esteemed member of ACM, his research interests include cognitive intelligence, human-centered computing, distributed computing, and big data analytics. I would like to invite Dr. Lin to the dais to address the gathering.
Good morning, everyone. It's my great honor to be here to talk to everybody here on this very great event. And I had the chance to interact with the leaders of the MIT and other institutions and about the advancement of academic and especially in AI area. And I expect that our two-day event will be very successful, and we are going to have a lot of new ideas exchanged, and we have the opportunity to talk about the further collaboration. And AI is a very important area, and it is has a lot of opportunities and the potentials, and also some challenges that we have to address. I think this is the theme of this conference, right? So we bring the brainstorming, bring the experts here from all around the world to talk about the advancement of technologies and the challenges that, and also the measures we can take, like, to counter with all the challenges. Okay, and I think the cooperation that initiated by this event will be very helpful for us to progress, right, in AI research, and also it will help our academic life as well. And again, thank you for giving me this opportunity to come here to talk with you. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Lin. In fact, when we think about AI, data science, we always look only on the positive direction as what else can be done. But having to focus on addressing challenges, disruptive technology, I think it's going to be a really great space to discuss on. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to move on and introduce our second guest for today, Dr. Mohammad Jalil Piran, Associate Professor at the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Sejong University, Seoul, South Korea. Dr. Jalil holds a PhD in Electronics and Information Engineering from Yonghae University, South Korea. Subsequently, he has worked as a postdoctoral fellow at the university in terms of the networking lab. Professor Jalil has made significant contributions in the field of AI and data science through his extensive research and publications in esteemed international journals and conferences. His areas of expertise lie in machine learning, data science, big data, IoT, and cybersecurity. Dr. Jalil actively engages with scholarly journals as an editor, especially the IEEE Transaction on International Transportation Systems and the journal with Elsevier, that's Journal of Engineering Applications of Artificial Intelligence. He also presides as a vice chair of the IEEE Consumer Technology Society on Machine Learning, Deep Learning, and AI, to mention a few. An outstanding research contribution has been recognized internationally on Dr. Jalil is evident as he was presented with the prestigious Scientist Medal of the Year 2017 awarded by IAAM in Stockholm, Sweden. Moreover, he has received accolades from the Iranian Ministry of Science and Technology and Research as an outstanding emerging researcher in the year 2017 as well. We are privileged to have you, sir, with us, and I would request you to come and address the gathering. Thank you.
Honorable guests, distinguished researchers, and esteemed colleagues, it's a great privilege to stand before you all today at Code AI 2025, a conference that embodies the spirit of innovation, collaboration, and pursuit of knowledge in artificial intelligence. Ladies and gentlemen, AI is no longer just a field of study, it's a transformation force shaping industries, redefining human potential, and addressing global challenges. As we gather here, we witness the power of AI in revolutionizing smart cities, healthcare, cybersecurity, and climate resilience. From predictive analysis to generative AI, our collective efforts are driving solutions that not only enhance efficiency, but also promote ethical AI, responsible, and innovations. My friends, with great potential comes great responsibility. As researchers, we must ensure that AI remains transparent, fair, and inclusive, serving humanity rather than disrupting it. This conference is a testament to our shared vision, a future where AI empowers societies, safeguard privacy, and foster suitable development. The ideas shared here will shape the AI landscape for years to come. So let's us innovate responsibly, build ethically, and push the limits of what AI can achieve. Thank you, and I wish you all successful and insightful conference.
Thank you, sir, for those inspiring words. Your presence here today means a lot and adds a lot of value to our Code AI 2025 conference. Now, to share his valuable expertise and insights, I invite our respected patron, Dr. Iven, Director, MIT-Bengaluru, to address the gathering.
Very good morning to all present here, respected dignitaries, invited guests, all the senior faculty members, and the delegates who have assembled here for this conference 2025 Code AI. It's indeed a pleasure to stand here and formally welcome all of you all, and at the same time greet you for this auspicious occasion that we've all gathered here. A conference of this nature is a perfect conglomeration, I would say, as a meeting space where ideas and innovations merge, and a place where a lot of thinking process happens, a lot of takeaways from here. And when you all gathered here with different sessions, multiple parallel sessions, you're always enthusiasm to take up what is in store for me to take it from here. I'm going to address one key aspect here, and this is something which came up in the social media. And it's an anecdote. A few years back, if you remember, a major OEM called Mercedes-Benz had innovated their invention called a high energy impact car body design. Now, this was something which if you were to be in a car and get into a high impact collision, you would still be there safe and intact. And apparently, after this invention took place, the representatives or the management of Mercedes never felt that they should go ahead and patent it. And they kept it open. And as a resultant, you know what happened? Good number of OEMs started replicating or started copying blindly of all these activities. Now, after having looked into this, the media personals asked Mercedes Center, why is that you've kept this entire thing open when you could have minted $1 million revenue through this entire ecosystem? And the spokesperson said the following: there are few things in life which come as a part and parcel where we keep human values and human safety above corporate profit. And I think this is a big takeaway for each one of us, every individual seated here, as a takeaway from this conference. I'm here to highlight one key aspect. In the current era where everyone is running after publications, in the rut of getting into so many numbers, please don't get deceived in terms of running after the same rut. Please be maintaining on the quality. And quality so much so that when you move out from here, let there be a much bigger contribution of yours to the society. And I believe that's something which research contributes too much, or so much so that we all are in debt to this humanity. And on that humanitarian ground, my urge, or rather the earnest urge to you is, let you all envisage, think, research much beyond the four walls of publications. Rather, how much can it impact to every individual to make this earth a better place to live? With that note, I formally thank all the conference organizers, all the conference chairs. Special thanks to the president here who has actually decided, or rather came up saying that let's conglomerate and come together on behalf of both MIT-Bengaluru IT department and MAHE Dubai together to host this conference at Dubai campus. I'm sure looking at Code AI 2.0, it was a great success, not just in terms of the sponsors who came up, but also in terms of the number of applications, number of research papers which has come forward, including people from all across the globe. And it's indeed my pleasure to be standing here and congratulating all those team members who have come all throughout. Formally welcoming all of you, and special thanks to the team out here, acknowledging the presence of both the chief guest and the guest of honor and Professor Sabhahit for having traveled all the way from Manipal, and the conference organizers, both Gururaj and Shreyas, and our student friends who are here. And along with me, all the other member representatives, including Sophia and Dr. Pandey. Thanks a lot for being present here and to make it a big success. Wishing all of you all a great success in these 2 days of endeavor. Thank you, Adami.
Thank you, Dr. Iven Jose, for those inspiring words. I would now like to invite our patron, Dr. Narayana Sabhahit, Provost Chancellor, Technology and Sciences, MAHE Manipal, to address the gathering.
Professor Hong Lin, University of Houston, USA. Guest of honor, Dr. Jalil, Piran, Sejong University, Seoul, South Korea. Dr. Sudhindra, Academic President, MAHE Dubai Campus. Dr. Iven, Director, MIT-Bengaluru. Participants of this Code AI 2025 and other faculty members of MAHE Dubai. Very good morning to all of you. I'm very happy to be here today because this conference is happening in Dubai campus, collaboration with the two campuses together coming and organizing this, a very important the conference on AI and the data science. If you look at data science or even the AI, this is not something new. Data science is there from, I think maybe very long, the period. Even if you look at our ancestors, they used to predict the weather They used to predict the eclipses. They used to predict many more things, just the having the data of the movement of stars. So these are all data driven. Today, as an administrator, I always depend on the data. Any decision if I want to take, the data is important. And data gives, the idea that how we can move forward. So it is there for, the many, many years. And it has come in a different form because of some reasons. I'll come to that. If you look at our founder, late Dr. T.M.A. Pai, a medical doctor, when he started a medical college in India at Manipal in 1953. At that point of time, India had only 28 medical colleges. All over India, 28 medical colleges. He used the data. He convinced the government that only government is not able to provide sufficient doctors. I mean, the medical colleges. He said that the private players are very important in medical education. How he has proposed this, it is based on data. The available number of doctors, available number of the population. So based on that data, he proposed it and he got the approval and he started. And today, we have around 800 plus medical colleges in India, and out of that, 50% of them are private players. So data is there, always there. It's only it has come in different form because the availability of the high computing facilities and also the statistical tools that has helped to refine the predictions, to refine, to take the decisions. Now when you come to AI is also not something, it's not something new which has emerged in the last few years. It's not like that. AI is there. Even 1950s, as early as 1950s, people have used it, they started it. But because of lack of computing facilities, it has not taken up to this level. It came and then, slowed down, came again in 1990s, and again it has gone. Now it has come in a big way. In a big way around the globe, particularly in India, a lot of, the startups are coming up to work on AI and how higher education can be improved using AI. There's so much so that people talk about AI means actually Indians. So that's how, they call it as AI. So it has a lot of, the scopes, as Chief Guest mentioned, the challenges are always there. People who wants to misuse the technology, they are one step ahead of us. So we need to be a little careful. We have to be very sensible while using this AI. So with these few words, I would like to stop here. But at the same time, I would like to congratulate the organizers. Dayananda is here and also the team from MAHE Dubai. Together, they are coming and organizing this event. Thanks to the team Bangalore as well as the MAHE Dubai organizing this. And also giving me an opportunity to come and visit this campus. I used to come quite often, but off late because of different role. So I didn't come for the last 2 years. I thought this is an opportunity to come and meet faculties of Dubai and meet with all the administrators. Thank you very much and all the best for this conference. And these are the conferences where I think the faculties as well as the students an opportunity to learn many things and take this forward. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would now like to invite our patron, Dr. Sudhindra Shamanna, Academic President, MAHE Dubai, to address the gathering.
Good morning. By any parameters of success, I can say that Code AI 2025 has started with a bang. It's bound to be successful. The organizers chose a great venue. MAHE Dubai is privileged and proud to be hosting this conference here. It's a great venue, great international venue. They've chosen a great theme, a topical theme. They put together a fantastic organizing team. They have they've managed to get papers from a wide range of countries that makes this conference truly international. They've been privileged to have two very fine keynote speakers. So going by any parameter, this conference is a success even at the time of starting. Now I have one message for the participants. Over the last few years, what I have seen is that conferences, the way conferences have been organized has undergone a remarkable change. Organizers are striving to make conference to be of more value to the participants. Gone are the days when participants went to a conference with a work in progress paper and tried to get inputs, refine their papers, and then look at a great journal as a destination. Now, conference itself has become a destination. Conference itself now provides you opportunity to publish. This is a very interesting change in the last few years. And that has one probably unintended side effect, that the amount of discourse, the amount of discussions that used to take place in the conferences, probably the younger researchers now are probably losing sight of that. This is one worrying thing that I have observed in the last few years, and that needs to change. The conference is a place to confer, to have discussions, to obtain inputs, to obtain insights from the speakers, so that you are stimulated to write and publish better papers that are of value, as the speakers have already said, that are of value to the society and the community around you. So this is the place where you get insights, you discuss, you network, you find co-authors to yourselves. So this is the place for that. Publication as Scopus indexed conference proceedings, that is a bonus. The main purpose is to have rich discussions here. So my message to all the participants is, in the full spirit of attending a conference, please interact amongst yourselves, interact with the speakers, interact with the other faculty, and then make sure that you go with this place with your minds richer and you are more excited to write good, fantastic papers. With these few words, I would like to congratulate the organizing team from MIT, led by Dr. Dayananda and Dr. Gururaj, and the collaborating team, that is our own institution here, led by Dr. Pandey, Dr. Sophia, and all the faculty members who were in the part of this organizing team, the student volunteers and everybody here, and the partners for hosting a fantastic conference. Congratulations and best wishes. I heartily welcome the dignitaries here, Dr. Sabhahit, the Pro-Vice Chancellor who has traveled from India, the two keynote speakers, and all the faculties over here, and of course, my hearty welcome to all the participants. Have a wonderful conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sudhindra Shamanna, for those kind words. I would now like to invite Dr. Shreyas J, Program Chair, Code AI 2025, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Nishant. Good morning, everybody. It's my honor and privilege to deliver the vote of thanks at inauguration of Code AI 2025, hosted at the beautiful campus of MAHE Dubai. First and foremost, our deepest gratitude goes to our chief guest, Dr. Hong Lin, Professor, Department of Computer Science, University of Houston, USA, and Dr. Jalil Piran, at Department of Sejong University, Seoul. So I kindly request Dr. Narayana Sabhahit to hand over the token of appreciation to our chief guests, Dr. Hong Lin and Dr. Jalil Piran. I kindly request Dr. Iven to hand over the token of appreciation to Dr. Narayana Sabhahit. Now, I would like to thank Dr. S. Sudhindra, Academic President, MAHE Dubai. Thank you for accepting our invitation and hosting Code AI 2025 on this vibrant campus. Your support has been instrumental, sir. I would like to request Dr. Dayananda P. to hand over the token of appreciation to Dr. Sudhindra. About the planning and execution phases, I request Dr. Dayananda P. to hand over the token of appreciation to Dr. Iven and Dr. S.K. Pandey. A special thanks to our General Chair, Dr. Dayananda P. for all his support, dedication, and making this event happen with such an impact and precision. I request Dr. Sudhindra Shamanna to hand over the token of appreciation to Dr. Dayananda P. And a big thank to our program chairs, my program co-chairs, Dr. Sophia, Rahman, and Dr. Gururaj HL, for your leadership and tireless commitment in curating a high quality and intellectual rich program. I kindly request Dr. Narayana Sabhahit to hand over the token of appreciation to Dr. Sophia, Rahman, and Dr. Gururaj HL. And I take this opportunity to thank our publicity and marketing partner from Confab 360, Mrs. Nishu and Dr. Anuj for their support. I kindly request Dr. Dayananda P. to hand over the token of appreciation to Mrs. Nishu and Dr. Anuj. We would also like to take this opportunity to express a heartfelt thanks to all the faculty members of MAHE Dubai and MIT-Bengaluru for their incredible support and collaboration. A very special acknowledgement to the ACM student chapter of MIT-Bengaluru for their day and night dedication, coordination, and behind the scenes hard work. Your efforts have truly been the backbone of this event. We extend our sincere thanks to Finance Department and Marketing Department of their seamless handling of logistics, communications, and outreach. Our gratitude also goes to our publishing partner, Springer CCIS, indexing partners Coopers, and gold sponsor FlutterFlow for their support, and bronze sponsor HP, as well as technical sponsor IBM and Nokia. To our academic partners, publicity partners, and organizing team, thank you for your continued support and cooperation. Last but not least, we thank all the researchers, paper presenters, attendees, and volunteers for making Code AI a vibrant and intellectually enriching program. Let us carry forward the spirit of innovation and collaboration that defines this conference. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Dr. Shreyas ji, for delivering the vote of thanks. I would now like to invite Professor Dr. Narayana Sabhahit to honor Dr. Shreyas ji on behalf of the Organizing Committee of Code AI 2020. I would also like to invite Dr. Narayana Padhy to also honor Dr. Sophia Rahman as the Program Chair of Code AI 2025. On behalf of the Organizing Committee of Code AI 2025, we would like to formally conclude today's inauguration ceremony. I would like to request all the distinguished dignitaries and guests to please come on stage for a group photograph. We first have a keynote address by our chief guest, Dr. Hong Lin, Professor, Department of Computer Science, University of Houston, downtown United States. His keynote address will be on sleep stage analysis by Bayesian networks. I would like to invite Dr. Hong Lin to address the gathering. Please welcome him with a huge round of applause.
Good morning. Good morning again. Okay. Today I'm going to talk about research about the sleep analysis. Okay. So it's called sleep stage analysis by a Bayesian network. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, the sleep disorder is a very big problem nowadays. It affects quite a large portion of the population. You can see some statistics in the U.S. The problem, exists in almost, everywhere in the world as well. Okay, so it is a very big problem. And scientists are kind of studying the technologies that can help, overcome the sleep disorder problem. One of the problems that we need, scientists need to deal with is the sleep stage analysis. So basically, it's technology that can detect the sleep stage automatically. So this is one of the fundamental research about the sleep problems. Okay. All right. Now, traditionally, and that's okay. Yeah. Okay. Traditionally, doctors use some technique which is called the hypnograph. Okay, to identify the sleep stage. Okay, manually. So it's done manually. Okay. Now, what scientists are doing right now is finding a machine learning method that can detect the sleep stage automatically. So that's basically the thing of the research I am presenting here. Okay, and we use a public the repository to extract the data that we use to test the method. Okay, and now. To address the kind of applicability of the method we are talking about here, we use a single channel data, okay, to as the data source, okay, to do the analysis. Okay, all right. So let's move next slide. Okay. And the sleep stages, okay, can be classified into 5 stages. Okay, and they are displayed here. Okay, so basically the first stage is like a wake state, like the light the people begin, okay, to draw asleep. Okay, the first stage. Okay, the second stage is kind of somewhere between the light sleep and the deep sleep. Okay, then the third and the fourth, okay, stages are the deep sleep, okay, stages. Okay, and in these stages the subject, okay, their body temperature begin to drop, and the pulse rate begin to drop. Okay, and the last stage is the so-called REM, the rapid eye movement stage. So this is the stage, okay, when the subject has a dream, okay, and also it is characterized by the rapid eye movement. Okay, and next. And so this is basically kind of a general description of the data set we are using to do the analysis. Okay, yeah. Okay, and this is the performance of the methods, okay, that we try to use as a kind of a benchmark to test, to check the performance of the method we are studying here. Okay. All right, and so the sleep process, right, is kind of a cycling, right, process. Okay, so from, for example, say 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. in this period, okay, the subject runs through certain number of cycles of the stages, right, from stage 1 to stage 4. Okay, and but the different stages has different lenses, right, in different cycles. So you can see, for example, the REM, right, the length of REM became longer, right, over time, right, during the night. Okay, move. Let's move. Okay, yeah. And now the benchmark method uses the so-called black box method. So it uses the CNN, convolutional neural network, to analyze the data, right, and do the classification. Okay, so this CNN, it has good performance, but the one drawback of this method is not interpretable, right? It's black box method. Okay, now the method we are using here is a Bayes network. Okay, so the Bayes network examines the kind of causal relationship, among the variables that are involved, right, in a model. Okay, so we hope that by using this method we can review, like our study can review some the causes, for each sleep stage, right? Okay, so such that we can use this method as kind of a guideline to develop such a guideline for people to counter with any sleep problems. Okay, so that's the intention of our research. Okay, let's move. Okay. Yeah, it's about the theories, the Bayes network theory. Okay, and also we use a dynamic Bayes network. Okay, because it's a time series analysis. Okay, so you can see the same network, right, is replicated over time. Okay, so we have to in order to build up such a model, we need to find the transition probability, right, from different time slices. Okay, and also we need to determine the probability among the variables in every time slice. Okay, yeah. So that's the challenges we need to we face, right, when we do this kind of study. Okay, so let's move on. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So basically, it's just technical details. Okay. Let's move on. Okay. All right. And so this is the kind of processing of data, right, from the original data set. Okay. And we, so here it shows the how we, cut up the data and the string of data into epochs. Okay. And each epoch corresponds to one sleep stage, right? So simply put, okay, every we use 30 seconds, right? 30 seconds records, right, to correspond to one sleep stage, all right? Yeah. So now different stage can on a data set can overlap a little bit because the cut line, right, between different stages may not be that clear. Right? Yeah. Okay. So, but that's the general idea about the grouping of data, okay, for analysis. Okay. And all right. So, and also we need to process the data, for example, the stratification, the scaling, and the skewing, this kind of thing. Okay. All right. Move on. Okay. This shows the frequency analysis. So basically, this is a very typical method. Okay, when we deal with sleep data. Okay, so we kind of stratify the data into different frequency and different power bands, frequency bands. Okay, like they are called theta, alpha, gamma, and so on. Okay, so they different the data in different frequency bands correspond to different brain activities. All right, yeah. Okay, so that's kind of part of a feature extraction. And this shows the imbalance of the data, like imbalance in the data set. Okay, the different sleep stages have a kind of an imbalanced amount of data, right, to be used. Okay, so this is just another challenge that we face when we process the data, right? So normally it affects the performance of the model. If the data set is not balanced, right, it affects the performance of the model. So we have to do kind of a resampling, right, to rebalance the data set. Okay, let's move. Okay. And yeah, we try to use the extract features, right, from the original data set. Okay, and we are going to use these features as variables, right, to try to find out, okay, the causal factors, okay, of different sleep stages. So here, in the frequency domain, right, we use the features like this, right, and the ones that are shown here, like a power spectral density, and so on, right? Okay, like a slow wave power, okay, and now let's move, okay, and yeah, this is just the display of the sum of the features that we extracted, okay. All right, let's move. Okay. And also we are using the scatter plot and the pair plot, right, to examine the relationship among the correlation between different variables. Okay, right. Okay, and this is the features from the time domain that we use. Okay, yeah, like a variance, like okay, these are other features, right, from different how to say domains. Okay, yeah. So in total, we use 20 features, 20 different features, right? Okay, yeah, to analyze the sleep stage. Okay, and also we just display in the correlation, among different variables. Okay, let's move. Okay, and also try to recognize the most important factors, okay, that affect the sleep stage as well. Okay, all right. And we need to do some kind of scaling, right? Okay, scaling and unscaling. Okay, just try to overcome the kind of a defect, right, in the data set. Okay, such that we can build up a model in good quality. Okay, so then we this is the package we use, right, to build up the dynamic Bayesian network. Okay, let's move. Okay. And because of time sequence analysis, so we need to the idea is to find out the relationship among variables, right? Okay, so when the time involves, okay, the variable, the relationship among variable can change over time, right? So here we can see some junction patterns, right, between among the variables, right? Okay, like a chain, fork, and collider. Yeah, so these are some possible, relationship, among the variables. Okay, and we so this to say that the structure, right, of a Bayesian network can change over time. All right. Okay, and so we need to build up the topology of the Bayesian network as well as the parameters of the network of the for example the conditional probability table, right? So we need to use the data analysis to to define the model in this way. Okay, so here we use the hill climbing method, right, to try to approach an optimal solution. All right. Okay, let's move. Okay. Yeah. So. Okay, let's continue. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, these are the features that we need to examine, right? Okay, when we build the model. Okay, let's move. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, as I said, the modeling process involves the structural learning, right? We need to study the structure of the Bayesian network, and also we need to do the parameter learning, right? We need to feed the data, okay, and create a conditional probability table for the Bayesian network. Okay, all right, let's move. Okay, this basically shows some kind of a correlation, among the variables, and then we can draw a network as shown in the next slide. Yeah, so this is one of the Bayesian network that we build up. Okay, yeah, that shows the relationship among the variables, and this is the performance. Okay, And so we can compare the performance that of our model to the benchmark models, and basically they are comparable. Yeah, they are basically comparable. Okay, all right, let's move. Okay, for comparison, we also use kind of a low quality data. Okay, and also we use the black box method on very low quality data. Okay, and we use the same way to process the data. Like we use the 30 seconds. Okay, it's epoch, right, to cut up the data. And but this time we use the CNN plus STM, right, to build the black box model. But the quality, the data is collected using the neural sky, the single channel EEG device. So it's a pretty noisy device, very simple, very cheap. Okay, but so it is cost effective, but the quality of data may not be that good. Okay, and we build up this CNN and LTM model. Okay, and then let's look at the performance. Okay, yeah, here, and so you can see the accuracy, right? Accuracy, and then the loss function, and basically in the testing, right? Accuracy is around the 80%. Yeah, it's not that it's not superior, but it is compared to the benchmark method, it is acceptable for sure. Yeah, but keep in mind that this is a very low quality data. All right. Yeah. Okay. That's more. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Basically, that's the research I want to talk today. And so basically, it's we try to compare, right, different methods, right, to do the sleep stage analysis. Especially we want to focus on the Bayes network. Okay, because the Bayes network can reveal the correlation between the variables. Right, okay, so we can identify the causal factors, okay, that affect the sleep process. Okay, yeah. So this information will be useful for the users to use, right, okay, to overcome, right, to find out the measures that can overcome the sleep problem. Okay, yeah. Thank you so much.
We'll now resume with the second keynote address for the day. We have Dr. Jalil Piran, Head Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Sejong University, Seoul, South Korea. Today's keynote address will be on empowering climate resilience with generative AI, transformer-driven precipitation forecasting for next generation disaster preparedness. Over to you, sir. Please welcome with a huge round of applause.
Okay, good afternoon, good morning, still good morning. It's an honor for me here today to talk about climate resilience. So this is my research that we have published recently. My name is Jalil Piran, and I'm working as an associate professor at the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. I am an editor of IEEE Transaction on Intelligent Transportation Systems, editor of Journal of Engineering Application of Artificial Intelligence, vice chair of IEEE Consumer Technology Society on Machine Learning, Deep Learning, and AI in Consumer Electronics. My research comes from computer vision. So before we diving into the proposed approach, so let's see what is computer vision. Computer vision comes from one branches of AI. Up to 2022, most of people, they thought AI is robotic. And after 2022, most of people, they think that AI is just ChatGPT. But AI has 4 different categories. The first one is problem solving by search. The second one is knowledge reasoning. Third one, just machine learning, deep learning, all comes from one branch of AI as learning. And in the fourth category, we have computer vision, perception, acting, robotics. Computer vision is coming from, we want to just mimic the human perception. As what we see, computers can see the same. So these data are image, video, text, and audio, and we want to automate visual tasks. So the applications are everywhere. In agriculture, we use for crop monitoring and pest detection. In manufacturing, this computer vision powers quality control and automation, keeping production lines humming. In healthcare, we have a lot of applications for computer vision. In retail, and also we can employ computer vision techniques for high accuracy weather forecasting. So also in UAV, unmanned aerial vehicles, in smart cities, and in autonomous vehicles also we have. So the impact, it's all about efficiency, accuracy, and scaling solutions to solve real-world problems. Next, please. So the past decade has seen significant advancement in computer vision, from convolutional neural networks to ULO, and also from ResNet to MobileNet. All comes with different capabilities and services. However, we have some issues with like convolutional neural networks, long LSTM, recurrent neural networks. That's why transformers came to the scene in order to solve the problem in the previous scenarios. So these transformers has been introduced in 2017, and there was a paper, Attention is All You Need. So the feature is self-attention. It means no recurrence, and everything is in parallel processing. So the problem in recurrent neural network, or LSTM, was the long-range dependencies. However, in transformers, we can easily solve these problems. And in the case of videos, because they are a sequence of frames, so transformers are good solutions in order to solve them. Where we can use them, so maybe ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Grok, and all these things come from transformers. Also for text generation, for image generation, we can use them. So at the heart of transformer, it's attention, right? This is a brilliant mechanism that has been introduced. This attention focuses on what matters in input and also tunes out the noises. So here we have self-attention and also cross-attention. So global context and fast processing are the advantage of these processors. These transformers are not, basically they have been introduced for natural language processing, and you can see that these generative AI models, they employ transformers. Later in 2020, one paper has been published, and they use vision transformers. So in here, we are using images, and then the input images are divided into some paths, and these paths are fed to the transformers, and later we can use these transformers in order to generate new sequences. Like then we had the refined design like swing transformers that make them very good applications in images. So how transformers can generate images? This image generation is done using self-attention to fuel creativity. So DAL-E in 2021, DAL-E in 2022, and Stable Diffusion in 2022, they used vision transformers in order to generate new images. So the question is, this background that I provided, where it can be used for precipitation nowcasting. Precipitation nowcasting is a little bit different by forecasting. In precipitation nowcasting, we want to predict the probability of rain, like monsoon raining, in short term, like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, and accuracy matter here, right? So transformers, as I said, they are a kind of deep learning models, and they use self-attention in order to capture long-range dependencies. So our objective here is to propose a transformers-based generative model, and in here, instead of text or images, we feed radar data, right? So we want to have a transformer base like vision transformer, and in here we try to, I think you should go next, yes. So we want to use vision transformers, and in here we try to feed radar data, right? Radar data, they provide us some information about reflectivity of the clothes, and this radar data, they can tell us what is the reflectivity of clothes. Then we can use this reflectivity in order to generate the behavior of clothes, and then we can get the direction, the precipitation probability, and also the amount of rainfall. So also we try to use transfer learning. The problem is if we directly want to develop a model and we train it on some radar data, they need a very huge data set, and also they need very high computational capacity, because the radar data are available in .npy files, and they are a kind of tensors. So you imagine of million tensors, and how to process them is a big job. So our contributions, we propose a novel transformer-based architecture for long-range spatiotemporal dependency capture. Then also we propose the hybrid convolutional neural network and transformer approach in order to enhance feature extraction. Then we employ transfer learning to adapt to varying climate conditions. And in order to compare the performance of our proposed model, we use CGANs, conditional generative adversarial networks, UNet, convolutional LSTM, and PY-STEP. Then our data came from South Korea. In South Korea, there are 7 radar stations that they are used to monitor the behavior of clouds. So we used this data from 10 weather radars, and our data came from Korea Meteorological Administration. We use data like 960 into 120 grids, and we use every 10 minutes updates. Then we get the reflectivity data. So please go next. Okay. So here you can see the data. This data is the behavior of the clouds in the sky. You can see here this red, this is yellow. It means very low probability of precipitation. Then when we come to the red, it means higher, and when it comes to the purple, it's like a moon zone, right? So what we want to do here is very easy. We collect the data, and we want to generate the next behavior of clouds, where they are going, what is the probability of precipitation, and what is the amount of precipitation that comes from this data. So for pre-processing, we use the min-max scaler in order to convert the data and normalize them data reflectivity in DBZ between 0 and 1. Then we use the Z relation, and we try to convert Z to 200 R in power of 1.6. Then this gives us the predict rainfall intensity in millimeter per hour. Then we go for image representation, and we converted our images. It means not like images, they are like tensors, and we converted to grayscales with 128 to 128. Our data were 1,845 samples for training, but as I said to you, these are not the whole data set. So we train our model on a very big images of meteorological, then we transfer the knowledge to this data set. Please go next. So next, please. Our model has 3 components. One is encoder. The encoder is used for feature extraction from radar images. The second one is a self-attention mechanism, which is used for learning spatial and temporal dependency. Where we are talking about spatial, it means the images, and when we are talking about temporal, it means the sequence of the tensors that we have. And at the last, we have decoder. This is used for generating future precipitation maps. Next, please. So the encoder here, we use the dual model input processing strategy. This model takes in sequence of radar reflectivity data, and we get the four like t minus 10, t minus 20, t minus 30, t minus 60. So we get the past historical data, then we try to generate the new ones. So in here, these layers progressively don't sample the input from an initial resolution as of 128 to 128, and we have converted to 16 by 16. Then we used a 2D sinusoidal position encoding. This is a kind of technique that we use in transformer models in order to encode spatial position in 2D. Next, please. The next one is self-attention. We use a multi-head spatiotemporal attention mechanism, and this one used to effectively capture both spatial and temporal relationship in our data. So because it allows the model to focus on the most important region, and in here, as you can see the equation, we calculated the attention, like Q here is the input as what we are trying to predict, and the key is the information from past radar images, and V is the value of extracted from reflectivity data. Then we calculated attention based on this formula. So we had 8 parallel attention head for regional and local patterns. Then we have cross-frame temporal attention, that this was used for track precipitation system movements. And then we did layer normalization and ResNet for connection residual. Next, please. Now let's move on the decoder, please. Next one. So the decoder, this was responsible for generating probabilistic precipitation forecast. So we try to use a autoregressive multi-step prediction, and in here we iteratively generate like 10, 30, 60, 90, 120 for the forecast of images. Then we did feature upsampling modules, and we translated convolutional plus skip connections. And then we used a dual head that this at the same time predicts precipitation and also probability of that one. This precipitation instead quantifies the expected rainfall, but the probability provides an uncertainty aware, helping the decision makers to enter the confidence of forecast. Please go next. As I told you, training a transformer model based on the radar reflectivity data is very huge, and they need a very high computational capacity. That's why we did the model, we pre-trained on a large general weather data set. Then we try to fine-tune on Soyang Basin radar data. This Soyang Basin in South Korea, this is prone to very high rainfall during monsoon especially. Then we pre-trained the transformer model on global meteorological data. We transferred the pre-trained model to Soyang Basin, and then we fine-tune using radar images and precipitation intensity. So here you can see, please next. Here you can see the loss function. For the loss function, we use adversarial light like secant-based models and also L1 pixel loss. For the optimizer, we use Adam optimizer, and also for training strategy, we use mini-batch stochastic gradient descent and learning rate decay. Next, please. In order to evaluate the performance of our work, we use many metrics like Pearson coefficient, we use RMSE, we use NSE, National Assault Cliff Efficiency, we use critical success index, and also we use fraction scale score. Next, please. So here you can see the output of our project. So it means we had some radar reflectivity data in tensor format. We use those information, and we try to generate new things. So as you can see here, if this is the ground road, then this is our model. As you can see here, up to 60 minutes, it's very good. But this is the comparison between the generative adversarial network convolutional LSTM, and UNet. So as you can see here, our model works better. This one is forecast skill score, FSS. This is for different models using in precipitation nowcasting. This FSS is widely used metric for evaluating the spatial accuracy. So the first one, please go next. Next. So this is back. Okay, so as you can see here, this is our proposed model, and this is for convolutional LSTM, PY-STM unit, and that one. So as you can see here, our model works better because it maintains a higher FSS score over time, indicating better spatial accuracy compared to the other model. So the next one is for, next please. Oh, God, very late, right? Okay, this is for NSE. As I told you, this NSE is for Nash-Cliff efficiency. And in here, we try to compare our model. So as you can see here, this red one is for our proposed model. So the NSE, the higher NSE, it means better. And you can see compared to the CGAN, convolutional LSTM unit, and PY-STM, the performance of our proposed model is better. So in conclusion, in this work, we presented a transformer-based generative model, and this is significantly can improve precipitation nowcasting accuracy. We use convolutional neural network for feature extraction, then we use self-attention mechanism, and also we use transfer learning in order to improve the accuracy of model. Then for the future work, we aim to extend this model to different climatic regions, and also we want to integrate with additional climate variables like humidity, temperature, and also we would like to develop multi-scale models for different radar resolutions. Next, please. Oh, okay, it's here. Okay, thank you very much for your attention, and I'm here for your questions. No questions? Okay, thank you.
Professor, I have just one
Yes,
question.
please.
Just for curiosity, using the convolution neural network as a black box.
Yes,
Okay.
as backbone
Yeah.
for feature
So,
extraction.
how do you understand? Suppose if I want to know the interrupts of learning model, how would you get that? What is more impactful for making a better prediction?
To be honest, here the convolutional neural network is used only for the feature extraction. And in the generating of the future NPY files that we say the precipitation or nowcasting, this convolutional neural network has no impact, right? So what we did here, we used encoder, self-attention, and decoder. So using the CNN, that's a kind of customized CNN, then we try to generate data based on the self-attention. The self-attention goes for each patch of the images, and they try to highlight the most important. And in our example, the most important part is the most highly reflectivity data, as I show you in the purple side. So convolutional neural network is only for feature extraction. It means the convolutional neural network just tell us where are the data, right? Where is the most important part. But the main factor or the main driver here is the self-attention. Yeah, because this is a sequence of data.
How old the data set?
10 years, 10 years, yes. Yeah.
Are you also able to get data sets from other sources like NASA and other?
To be honest, it's very confidence and secret, and it's very difficult to get climate data. I think no government, even if you search, maybe some regular images are available on internet, but tensor data are not available anywhere. And this is because this is a national project from South Korea. That's why KMA, Korea Meteorological Association, they provided us the data. But I think it's very difficult to get from government these data sets.
The local government that you sourced in the data from is the resolution that you call, which is 1 kilometer resolution.
Yes.
Would that be
Yeah.
better?
Because in South Korea, there are 7 radar stations and they provided us whatever they had. But I don't know, for example, in case of India or in the US, they have such kind of radar stations or they provide this data. To be honest, we are very interested in expanding our work. So we will be very happy if India or other countries provide us data. If we receive this data, surely we will do our best to extend our model.
Because there are a few studies happening, especially at our institution, where people are working on a few meters.
Okay.
Not just the kilometers.
Yeah.
So the resolution is much more.
Yeah.
So probably there's a possibility.
Yeah, we will be very happy to receive, and it will be good. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for that insightful keynote address. Now we'll move on to an emerging technologies workshop conducted by our gold sponsor, FlutterFlow. We have with us Mr. Manorajan Padhy, who is a project management lead with FlutterFlow. He has a history of working with industry management operations and also is involved in designing programs for industry relevant solution applications. He has a strong program and project management. He's a strong program management professional and is skilled in Python programming, cloud computing, and machine learning. He has worked in companies such as Google, Zeta, Suit to add to his profile. So, with a huge round of applause, let us welcome Mr. Manorajan Padhy from FlutterFlow.
Thank you. Hi everybody, my name is Manorajan. I'm a program manager at FlutterFlow. And before this, I've worked for companies like Wipro, where I was involved in technology consulting, then at Google, where I used to work with our Android on-device ML teams, and then TensorFlow teams. If you have used TensorFlow or have worked on TensorFlow, that's also one of the teams I worked for. Then recently I've joined FlutterFlow, which is a visual development platform, that what we call it. The whole goal of FlutterFlow is how we have so much advancements that we have done in AI, then how we can also help like an end user. So technology is helpful when an end user can use it, right, to solve their problems, or as well as reduce timing in whatever they're trying to do. So that's where FlutterFlow comes into picture. I manage strategy and then as well as the product roadmap for FlutterFlow, and it's been 8 months since I've been starting to work for this company. I'll take you a brief overview of how the whole product works, how we have been using AI to help you with these products. Like one of those features, traditionally we write code to get things done, even if you want to build something. But on a platform like FlutterFlow, you actually draw things and it converts into code. Along with that, we have app generator now. Instead of spending months making an app, you can just use AI endpoints. Like if you want to integrate OpenAI into your product, or into your app, you can just do an API call and it does the thing for you. So taking 2 months to build an app, we are now done at 30 minutes to build an entire app and putting it out on the Play Store or the App Store, whatever publishing platform that you use. Before that, how many of you use any sort of an app? It's a dumb question, but how many of you use an app to get things done? Everybody, right? Perfect. So apps are there to help you everything, for literally everything, even for getting an app. For getting a cab, we have something like an Uber. Traditionally, we used to call for taxis. For universities, if you want to manage your student profile or anything, their academic records, you have their entire websites that have been built. Now, what is common between all of this is the code base that goes behind in making this. Traditionally, we have spent times on making separate app presentations, like if you are making a web CRM or an ERM, enterprise resource platform, then you would write an entire code for the web, then you would write an entire code for your applications. But the whole point of advancement in technology is, can I have only one code base which can let me do multiple things, from a website to an app on Android to an app that's like a link and can be deployed directly on your web browsers, even if you are using on your phone. That's called PWA apps. PWA was a term that was coined by Google around 6 or 7 years back, where people were not running very high config phones. At that time, how we can have websites convert into apps. And whenever you would click on the app link, it would actually deploy a web instance directly inside that app link itself, instead of opening the browser. So we got down from having an app size of maybe 100 or 200 MB on your phones to literally 25 KBs, which is just a link now. And everything is web served. From that, we have progressed on, when I was still working with our Android team, on how a lot of on-device ML things, like if you're wearing smartwatches, these days it also predicts, right, whether you are going to get a heart attack. So how that data is analyzed, where the functioning happens. Because of privacy reasons, from processing a lot of code on server side, we had to go back to processing a lot of code on your wrists, on your phones. But everything needs to be presented. It makes sense only if you as a user can analyze or make sense of it. So I'm going to talk more about applications of that part, not how would you do the research or anything, but how would you build something so that in case if you have created some amazing research work, an end user can make sense of it. So I'm Manorajan Padhy again. I have given a brief introduction already about myself. So what is FlutterFlow? FlutterFlow is a visual development platform. Not everybody can write code, and we need to accept that fact, but everybody wants to make an app. It could be a designer who doesn't have any code writing knowledge. It could be an academic researcher whose job is not to write code, but focus more on researching and presenting their findings. But they also want to create an app. For example, if recently we were talking about weather predictions, right? If I want to make an app where anybody can come and see what does the weather for the next 7 days looks like. Are we accepting a tsunami? Are we expecting a heat wave? Right now, we solely rely on existing weather platforms like weather.com. I just got a notification of a heat alert that's going to last for the next 3 days. So things like those. Now, when I talk about visual development platform, it's a fairly new term, right? So there are 3 sorts of spectrum that exist right now. One where you write machine level code, where everything is hard coded and you need to have a thorough knowledge of in and out how things work. And the last one is no code. No code is also called as vibe coding these days, where a lot of developers call it, where you simply drag, drop things and get an app out. But it doesn't give you a lot of flexibility in terms of what you would want to build. So no code is higher abstraction, but less flexibility. And low code is lower abstraction, but very, very high flexibility in terms of what you want to build. So FlutterFlow is like a fine balance in between, where you can not only drag and drop, but you can also insert custom codes, where you can invoke APIs directly. Because we need to also accept the fact not everybody is going to write an API end-to-end. That's why companies exist, like how we have OpenAI, how we have Gemini from Google. They give you simply an API link which you can invoke and parse data and get the JSON response presented to the end user. So this is what the overall dashboard looks like, that how you can use FlutterFlow. And this is how you can actually build things that using FlutterFlow. Now the thing about FlutterFlow is it's a fairly new company. It's independent, but it's still heavily backed by Google Ventures at the moment. We have around 2 million users at the point of time, but the entire company is only about 70 people who's running it. We are based out of Mountain View right now. So as I mentioned, there's only one code base, and at the end, as the name suggests, FlutterFlow, everything that you drag and drop is written in Flutter. Now what happens when you want to take the code out of the platform? So in case if you know Flutter and you are somebody who is also aware about how coding works, or you are able to write code, even though you have dragged and dropped and created components, even you have edited components, even though you would have added API directly into that panel, you can take the entire code base out of the platform. In case if you're working something that's proprietary and do not want it to be shared with us. So FlutterFlow visuals to Flutter source code at the moment, and this is how the entire platform looks like. On the right hand side, you can see there is hard code that comes out whenever you are adding a widget, or whenever you are changing colors, or whenever you are changing or editing new properties in the platform itself. Now, what is a widget? Widget is something that gives a preview of what's happening in the app. It could be a calendar widget where it just shows what are your action items for today. It could be a weather widget where it just shows what the weather looks like for today, and in case if you have selected an option, it will also give you what does the weather looks like for 7 days. This is what it looks like. So FlutterFlow uses widget very in a very super powered manner, but at the end of the day, widget is like an amalgamation of few boxes, like an image, a column where your data is represented, and a button where you can interact with the data that is being represented over there. Now, the demo that I'm going to talk to you about is flood notes, right? So here, there's an amazing researcher who would have built an API, and I have already published it to one of the cloud providers, and it can give you data about, or it can give you a summarization of what text or what handwriting it is written. So when you are making an app for a similar thing in FlutterFlow, it's just the top view where you actually add an image, and the bottom one is column where the data would be shown, and the button clicking on which it would parse the image that you have uploaded to the API directly, and in return it would get a JSON response, and that JSON response is actually put in the column widget that you can see, which is a summary. So this is technically it looks like. This is a notes that a student has written, and now just imagine like you wrote something 2 months back, you were so excited, now you're not able to read it and couldn't make sense of what you have written it. So you would just put that image there, and right now what we are doing is we are just invoking an OpenAI API instance, and that API passes through that data and gives you a summary of what the note is about. So ideally you would see converting it from handwritten to machine written, but here we also want to get a summary of what it is about, and also want to ask our agent that we have built. This feature specifically is called AI agent. We also want to ask our AI agent, what does this entire thing means? If it is a nutritional label, or let's say if it's a soft drink label I've uploaded, I want to ask how much sugar does it have? What are the things that is included in this particular drink or particular food product which is not safe for consumption in larger quantity or an overall period of time? Or basically, or if you just want to run quizzes around this thing. So you can achieve anything that you would want to do. This is what the entire image that I've uploaded looks like, and this is what the notes look like. So this demo specifically is called Note IQ, where you convert your study notes into quizzes using AI and FlutterFlow. Again, as I mentioned, we are going to talk more about application of something or research that we have already done, so that somebody who is an end user can also admire the work that you have done. So app.flutterflow.io is where all the magic happens at. You can simply go and create new projects. And in case if you don't feel comfortable with flutterflow.io, there's something else that we also demoed a couple of days back. It's called Dreamflow. Dreamflow is completely focused on prompt engineering, where you simply enter prompts. So half an hour back, I was trying to enter prompts about, can you generate an app using this, and this? And the instructions were about, can you go to the national weather repository of the Dubai government, fetch the data that they are representing to the users, using that data or as an API call, create an app which gives me weather predictions for the next 5 days, and make sure that I am also able to ask the app questions on, will it be sunny 2 hours later? Is it going to rain 2 or 3 hours later? Am I going to expect a flash flood tomorrow? or is it going to get colder? And also make sure that you refresh your data as soon as there are changes in the API that is actually you are pulling or serving the data that you are looking at right now. And Dreamflow is able to do that. So if you want to see it, you can go to dreamflow.com where you can see all of this data. So we are at that cusp of technology where apps from being built are now getting generated. So this is how the overall project looks like. Here what we are trying to do is, first is build your AI, your UI. For that we have this feature called FlutterFlow, the FlutterFlow AI, which is there on right top corner. So a couple of options that we are providing here is new page creation in case if you want to create. So every time you interact with an app or a button, it is a new user journey, let's say. How many of you use the weather app on your phones? Most of you. Do you know, can you make a guess of how many user journeys does it have? 5, 6, 10? Anybody? So when you click on the app and it shows you the weather, that's one user journey, just to brief you. When you see, when you click another option where it shows you weather for next 7 days, it's another user journey. So any app typically has 500 to 600 journeys, because not necessarily when you click an app, it is supposed to give you a response. It can also give you an error, or the app can just force close because of some parsing issues that has happened in the background. So each issue has to be taken care of. Sometimes it could be they have requested or they are trying to fetch data from the weather department APIs, but the weather department API is down and it's not returning any data. So necessary error has to be returned to the user. So because of this, there are several user journeys that is there. When you are into traditional development, you would actually hard code write all of these user journeys or all of the errors that would go, and each that would actually increase your app size as well as the time that you would spend when you are doing something like this. Now, new page creation simply allows you to do that. You just go to new page creation and write what kind of user journey that you would want to get created, and FlutterFlow would let you do that. Now, component is something that is very basics of computer science. So every app that you are creating has components. And 5 to 6 years back, Google came up with this term of reusable components, where to increase the efficiency of an engineer who is making an app, as well as reduce the app size, a component is reused. It's like there's a superclass that exists, and of that superclasses, we are now having subclasses whenever the component needs to be revoked or invoked, Third thing that we recently announced is sketch to component. We have seen cartoons where you draw things and it comes to life. We thought, can we do that with an application development platform? So sketch to component, you just go, use your regular digital pencil, and you draw whatever you want. And the app comes to life. It hardly takes a couple of seconds, and you can see that. You can write what the content the app should have. That also comes to life. And in the meanwhile, while that happens, you get everything on the right-hand side where you can edit that particular code. And the last two ones is page autocomplete. It's like you're writing something. So you just tell the AI what's on your mind, and it will create an entire page for you. What does the description looks like? What the guide should look like. Now, because of a couple of these features, so we are also working with a few universities in India who are integrating FlutterFlow as their last year course. So their concern has been, how do we identify if our students use FlutterFlow to build their last year project, if they simply generate the project and give it to us? So these are the cons that we see when we progress very fast with app development space, or when we start integrating AI into simple tasks as making an app. So this is how the whole Note IQ app would look like. So I'm not going to very in depth on what does the code look like. In case if somebody is interested, they can definitely come and talk to me in case if they want to see what the code looks like, how the controls are run, how the control passes every time when you run that code, and what more you can do visually at this point. So the last point is data. Data is very, very necessary when you are building an app like this. Now, because we are already invoking a custom OpenAI, we don't really have to train the data based on the data that we are trying to pass. We are already, OpenAI already takes care of that, where it is able to, analyze handwritten notes, as well as images that we are passing through it, or labels that we are passing through it. And it just makes sense out of it. That's what we want to do. And this is what a JSON response would look like whenever a new question is triggered. I've just copied, pasted it. So I wanted it to give me a detailed summary, title, short summary, and what are the questions that I can ask. So consider it, you are making a quiz app, right? And it hardly took you 30 minutes. And this is what, so if I am asking a question, maple syrup is primarily produced in the northeastern United States and Canada. This is the question that the app is asking me, and I just have to answer true or false. So this also allows people to test their knowledge on something that they have already built, written, or have studied. Now, what we need when we are making an app like this is schema. Database schema is basically how you define in what sequence the data or the questions has to be, or what the whole data structure looks like. For this particular demo, we used Firebase. So Firebase is a Google offering where we are able to store data. So one quick thing, FlutterFlow allows you to create an app. It doesn't take care of your database needs. You will have to connect your choice of database to the platform. It doesn't take care of AI needs. You can connect an existing API, OpenAI, Gemini, or anything that you want. Or in case if you are running custom models on your machine itself, considering you have a very high capacity machine that you have, you can directly integrate that into FlutterFlow. So after that, every time you invoke it, it would actually send a call to the model that you have been running on your machine directly, instead of something that's on the web. This is what the schema looks like that you also need to create. Not going to very much in detail between query and variable binding. But the last part is actions. So this is also, actions is also where the entire app functionality lies. So the first thing when you open an app that you would want to have is authentication. The app needs to authenticate that are you a genuine user or not. And second action is navigate. So what happens once you have authenticated, you need to upload an image to that app. So once an image is uploaded, so these are all the images that we have already uploaded. It again does a call that is upload media to Firebase, that's our database. And a backend call is done where the image are sent in a very layman's term to OpenAI APIs, where it is parsed, and then we update page state function. That's what we are running. So once we do that, it gives a summary of the entire app or the entire image that you would have uploaded. And then in case if you are not uploading a proper photo, or if it's a low quality photo, it would return false, that the API is not able to pass through that image because it's a very, very low quality. In that case, the user flow simply ends here. And in case it is able to pass through the images or analyze the images properly, it will give a freshly updated app state where you can go ahead and ask questions, considering it's a quiz app. So this is how the controls pass. It's basically a simple condition or if or else. If it's true, then this is supposed to happen. If it is not true, the other condition is supposed to happen. And the last part is error caching. Every time when you are making an app, you are bound to face errors. So this could be as simple as a warning in case if you are not integrating something properly. If you have not put comments for something, it would give warnings to you. And in case if you are missing an API key, if you have not properly configured a backend service that you are trying to run, it would give an error. In case if your API you are not able to authenticate with the API that you have been running here, that happens when you are not putting the API key. It would again return an error. So all these sort of errors are directly displayed in the platform itself. And then you also have an option where you can go and write custom code. So this is what the custom code looks like. Again, this code is simply generated. You have not written any part of the code right now. The FlutterFlow AI that sits inside the product whenever you are deploying an app, generates this code, but you have the functionality that you can go and edit this code in case if you want to do something that's custom, in case if you're building something that's proprietary, you can do this. So at the end, we come to Notes IQ. This is what the apps looks like. So in case if you want to explore more about FlutterFlow, we have FlutterFlow University on YouTube. And if you're wondering, like, do people actually use FlutterFlow, considering it's so powerful? So we have large enterprises who are already using FlutterFlow, like the Wendy's in the US was one of the primary customer of FlutterFlow. So it started with Wendy's realized they're sitting on tons of data of people ordering food. And they wanted to serve recommendations as well as wanted to make their apps faster. That's when Wendy's, sometime back, fully migrated to FlutterFlow. NTUC FairPrice is a large provider in Singapore. They use FlutterFlow right now for all their things, or for their entire app is based on FlutterFlow. If I talk about India, if you use Axis Bank, HDFC Bank, all of them are based on FlutterFlow. The Income Tax Department of India is going under a heavy migration to FlutterFlow, which started a couple of months back and would go on for a few years till the migration completes. So it's not just useful if you want to build a simple quiz app, but it is also helpful if you're building large enterprise apps, or if you're building apps that is supposed to cater to millions of users. It is going to work. Now, it lies on you on how you can use FlutterFlow as an assistant to you, which allows you to focus on your core work. Could be doing research, you could be a designer, or you could be anybody else and not really a core engineer. And it just helps you to make sure that the world sees what work that you have done. Or you could be a core engineer who's simply working on FlutterFlow and building cool apps. And if not this, you can simply use Dreamflow, enter prompts, and using those prompts, you can create an entire app. One thing that we have done is every time we generate apps using this platform, it leaves a signature or a hash key. And that key is verifiable in case if somebody is looking at it through means that we provide them, in case, like the issue that I just highlighted, how academicians have, what if somebody is just creating projects instead of writing hard code. So that is the solution to problem. So this also brings me to an end for this session. In case if you want to try it out, you can try 1 year free of FlutterFlow. This is available for all. This is an education pricing. So in case if you have an university email address, you would be able to get FlutterFlow for a year for free. That's something you can try it out. And in case if you do not have a university address, you can scan this QR code and it'll give you 2 months of FlutterFlow for free. While I talk about free FlutterFlow for all of you people, there's also a version that is zero pricing, which is not pro. It doesn't allow you to push code, but you can still play around the product in case if you don't want this QR code to be scanned. So that is what FlutterFlow is about. We started as a company literally 3 years back by 2 ex-Google software engineers when they wanted to launch a food app in San Francisco and realized we cannot do that because COVID hit the world just a week later. So nobody's going to go through food recommendations to go to restaurants. That's when they realized, okay, we need to help people's life by using AI. And these people were like research scientists on the Google Maps team. And one of them was also involved on implementing the feature of recommendations. Like what is the time recommendation that you see whenever you're trying to go from point A to point B, considering traffic data and all how that works. That's how FlutterFlow came to life. And 70% of FlutterFlow is sort of ex-Google at the moment. Thank you. Yes.
Considering that this is an app-based, yeah, so what I understand is as far as the prompt engineering goes, FlutterFlow differentiates itself based upon an app-based, indulgence into the entire interface that you have developed. Now, let's say, for example, you have Gemini, you have Merlin, you have many such other prompt engineering which is already out there. Do you also have any kind of integrations on the R1 stacks, etc., which are already in the pipeline?
Yeah, so Dreamflow right now is completely based on Vertex AI. Vertex AI is an offering that provided by Google Cloud at the moment. So we are completely right now on Google Cloud's cloud environment. And anything or any update that happens on Vertex AI, we pass it on to our end user. Right now, specifically about the app generation or the AI agent, it only supports OpenAI at the moment because we just launched it 20 days back. But eventually, it will have Gemini integration and all other API-based AI service that exists in the market. And it is just not app-based. You can also create web apps using it. So the same link or the same PWA that Dreamflow gives you is shareable. If you run it on your iPhone, it would be an iOS app on the browser. It will give you an option to add a shortcut. If you run it on an Android, it will be an Android app. If you run it on a web browser, it will be a web app.
So for the academia that we are sitting down here, would you have any recommendations on any particular piece of code or probably, let's say, a content retrieved from a web to be identifiable based upon its being taken up through an AI?
So I missed your last 3 points.
Based out of either, let's say, prompt engineering or from any generative AI?
Yeah, it is possible. So right now, when we are making apps, considering we are involved so much in AI, we are also trying to see how we can be around the fairness principles, AI fairness principles that were laid back a couple of years ago. So whenever an app that is generated in Dreamflow or a AI-related generated platform, it leaves a hash key. So anybody can go through the hash key and identify it is something that's not user-created, but created through prompt engineering. Third thing that we allow is, so Dreamflow and FlutterFlow is right now not interconnected, but you have an option to be on a wait list so that whatever you generated using prompt engineering, you can interconnect it. Right now, again, the con is, while it creates the app, it also gives you hard code. And in that, some of things that you can delete, some of things you cannot delete. In case, even if you delete it, when you run an app refresh or every time when you open the IDE, it pulls whatever is the update for that particular ID from the server. And in case if you have deleted the hash key, it will pull back the hash key and put it in the code itself. So we are making sure it's identifiable. We are making sure that the line between human generated and machine generated still stays in some format.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Manorajan, for that insightful presentation. I would now like to invite Dr. Iven Jose, Director, MIT-Bengaluru, to felicitate him with a token of appreciation. Models, challenges and opportunities. I would like to invite the panelists and the moderators onto the stage. First, we have Dr. Dayananda P., Professor and Head of Department Information Technology, Manipal Institute of Technology, MAHE Bangalore. Dr. Dayananda P. holds a PhD degree and brings over 2 decades of experience in academia and research. His expertise in machine learning, data science, and information retrieval has guided multiple PhD scholars and has an extensive publication record. We would like to welcome Dr. Dayananda P. onto the stage. I would now like to invite Dr. Iven Jose, Director, MIT-Bengaluru, onto the stage. Dr. Iven Jose has been a backbone and has been a pillar of support to the Code AI conference. Along with that, he has led various student initiatives at MIT-Bengaluru and holds multiple accolades to his name. We would like to formally invite Dr. Iven Jose onto the stage. We have Ms. Lakshmi Nageshwari, Global Director for AI Practice at Brilliant IT Solutions. Ms. Lakshmi Nageshwari serves as the Global Director for AI Practice. She has been instrumental in driving transformative solutions across various industries. Her insights into real world AI applications and her vision for future advancement make her a valuable contributor for today's panel. We welcome you, ma'am. Next, we have Dr. Mohammed Galmadin Aguila. He is a AI senior consultant for the Middle East and Africa region IBM. With extensive expertise in artificial intelligence and machine learning, Dr. Aguila has played a pivotal role in advising and implementing AI solutions that drive innovation and efficiency for clients across various sectors. His deep understanding of AI technologies and the strategic deployment offers invaluable perspectives for today's discussion. We welcome you, sir. Next, we invite our keynote speakers for today, Dr. Hong Lin, Professor in Department of Computer Science, University of Houston, downtown USA. Dr. Lin's research interests include cognitive intelligence, human-centered computing, and big data analytics. Along with that, he also supervises the Grid Computing Lab and co-founded the Data Center at UHD. Dr. Lin brings a rich academic and research background to our panel. We welcome you, sir, once again. We have Dr. Mohammad Jalil Piran, who is the Associate Professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Sejong University, Seoul, South Korea. Dr. Piran's research encompasses machine learning, data science, wireless communication, IoT, etc., to name a few. He has extensive publication records and serves as an editor for several esteemed journals. Today, Dr. Piran's expertise significantly contributes to the field of artificial intelligence. We welcome you, sir. We would like to request all the panelists to join us on stage.
So, good afternoon. I think you might have noticed the title for today's panel discussion is Bridging AI, Data Science, and Generative Model Challenges and Opportunity. To start with, I think many of them will be eager to see series, movies, and Netflix, if I'm not wrong, who are all here to make it interesting. I think, have you seen Zero Day Attack? Correct, right? A series which was launched in Netflix recently. I think it's a fascinating. It's a 1 minute glitch in your network. It's gone. So almost all many lives were gone just for a 1 minute glitch, and which it's a not acceptable in where the technology has been misused. So in order to start with this, I'll welcome all the panelists for this, and I'll start with the first topic. So in terms for all the panelists, I would like to ask, how do you see the current convergence of AI, data science, and generative models impacting innovation in the respective domains? So I request Dr. Ivan to just to give the remarks.
Thank you. So I think first I will be more specific with regards to what's happening at the academia and how we are converging the AI and generative AI towards the academia. Probably this is the era where I believe there's going to be a lot of convergences happening in terms of technological advances. And irrespective of which domain we come from, maybe we are from health sciences, we are from aerospace, we are from agri-tech, we are from different other ed tech, etc. We would see a lot of such convergences happening with data sets or data banks coming into picture.
Some of the innovativeness which we look forward for, or rather, I would say, how the whole progression can happen, is how academia can take a leap in terms of what industries are currently working on. And my advice to all is how AI, or rather AI, generative AI, can support in academia connecting to the industrial practices. Having said that, it is important while we look at data at the backdrop, how this data management, or rather the data management stack, can be manured through in different levels of its verticals. On one side, you have the pole of data, which is a data lake. Once you get the data lake in, people are literally skeptical of what to do with this data. So I think it's important at both the fronts to identify creating a data management stack whereby you are able to bring about sense to this data and then take on the journey from there. So I think on the perspective, I feel it's important as educators, we make students learn, academicians learn, and make sense, or rather appreciate what's happening out there in the industry. I think that's what I would.
Okay, thank you very much for the good question. To be honest, in my field, we are only working on generative AI. And we use this generative AI in many different fields, like in smart cities, in healthcare, and in climate resilience. So what we do here, normally the generative AIs, we are just trying to get rid of the data-driven models. And in real, we try to have some real-time data, like, for example, RAG and conditional RAG. We try to improve our models using these generative AI models, like transformer-based. And we try to have some real-time, instead of working on some data that are past data, we try to have some real time. For example, for security, there are many cases that in the past data set they are absent, right? So we try to have some RAG or conditional RAG in order to have some data and some models which are responsible for new scenarios that are not available. Especially for the case of smart cities and cybersecurity, we have recently we have published in our last paper is in IEEE Internet of Things, where we use some online learning and RAG for cybersecurity in smart cities.
Thank you. From industry perspective, if you ask me, opportunities are growing day by day. And before industry, when I say industry, every organization between small, medium to large, before they adopt AI at a scale, they are jumping into Gen AI solutions. So that's the opportunity available for young generation. But we are looking for the application-based, application knowledge-based candidates. If they are able to really perform on those lines, it's a golden era for your generation. Technology is moving very fast. We are talking about AI, data science, and generative AI. I can add quantum computing as well as a tagline to these three. AI, data science is well established in the market. Most of the industries are already worked on those lines. AI is started moving on a faster space, but Gen AI is dominating these two fields. And one who has a cross-domain knowledge on the application side will have a better opportunities on the industry, on the job profile side.
So from industry perspective, actually, the intersection, if I can say that, intersection between data science, AI, and Gen AI right now is reshaping how we can reach innovation in our engagement with our clients. Actually, I'm working in IBM in a very special team, which is engaging with client every day. So in this case, actually, we are trying to move from predict and data analysis, the usual things that we used to do like few years ago, to something called context-aware systems. So having the Gen AI power Actually, I remember like few years ago when just like trying to write some sort of application for sentiment analysis, for example, you will have spent like few months to build some sort of a small sentiment analysis application. Right now, actually, with Gen AI, large language model, you just like command, gives a sentiment of this review, and voila, that's it. So it's not only this is not only reshaping the kind of engagement that we work with our clients, it also reshaping the customer experience. It gives some sort of new era of how you can engage with your clients in two aspects, two important aspects: time to market, which is very important to industry, and also how you can approach more customer in a nicely way, which is more friendly user experience, if I can say that. So it's all about how we can engage with these powerful tools, Gen AI right now, to reach more and more clients and more people, enhance lives. That's it for me.
Okay. Now, in the human-centered computing area, the effort is trying to better understand the people, like people, the mind, the body, activity, this kind of thing. So it is not so directly impacted by the most recent AI advancements like large language models, but by using large language models, we can avoid some repeated work, so because some known facts can be just represented. It's much more reachable, okay, by using these models. Okay, so we can avoid some repeated work. And another challenge that is that we are facing in this area is like the bridge, okay, between data science and the Gen AI. Okay, so for example, how we can use the EEG analysis, okay, to generate artwork, for example. Okay, so then the artist can generate the artwork by handling the brain activities and something like that. So this is very interesting and also challenging as well. And yeah, so human-centered computing, okay, is I think is a very, how to say, still very promising area. And because when we see the growing, okay, like AI is growing, has a growing power, right? So we can dig out almost everything from AI, right? From the large language models, but understanding human himself, right, is a totally different area, and it's still we still need technologies that can push the advancement in this area. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Hongli. With respect to academics, is the current AI curriculum in the university aligned with the evolving trends of Gen AI and data centric? It is currently looked into it. So for the academicians, I think who are here can answer for this. And for industry, I think we can also see that when there is a bridging gap between an industry and academia, what is the measures taken for the fresh graduates in terms of generative AI, in terms of LLMs and other things? Yeah, over to you, sir.
Yeah, check. When it comes to academia, I think the curriculum formulation that happens, or rather goes through, needs to be very, very closely monitored based upon the use cases. And I'm one person who always vouch for it, for the fact that unless and until there are academia industry interactions very closely monitored based upon how this curriculum can actually be taken to the next level, we would definitely have a lot of issues. Now, let me dissect this entire problem. When we talk about adaptation, what happens today is the moment you have an AI curriculum, the AI curriculum revolves around a few fundamentals of what AI is, what CNN models are, and then a few applications out there. And it restricts itself to that level. Now, what I mean to say when adoption happens is more to do with, are we aware of what is happening right there in the market? For example, is there a possibility that we could bring about the ChatGPT stack? or the latest revolutionary things like DeepSeek stack, R1 stack into the curriculum. Now, there is an issue here. Let me also mention that, because when I say these things, we should also understand the flip side of it. The flip side is, as academicians, not all of them are trained to use this. This is a flip side. Now, to bridge this is where we would require companies like IBM's, companies like ChatGPT's, or people who are working in this generative AI models who can come downsize the entire thing, make us quite handy and kickstart from there. Now, how can this be possible? This can only be possible identifying each other's limitations, because as individuals, as teachers, we have our limitations in the classroom. After you have identified there, who would bridge this gap? Bring about a company. And I think this is a model that we adopt at Bangalore campus. And I'm happy to say that when we have industries flocking into the campus, we don't ask them to just simply give a guest talk, but rather we ask them to engage with a workshop of 4 to 8 hours. And possibly this model is something which is gaining a lot of prominence. And I believe if we can closely look at the curriculum, revamp them, by going to and fro and looking at where the actual gap lies. It could be at the faculty level, it could be at the resource level, or it could be at the curricular level. Curricular level, by and large, we all know, it can be passed through one BOS or one academic council, things are done. But at faculty level, it's a big task. Unless and until we mature ourselves to that level, first and foremost, there should be an interest, a trust, where teachers can take that leap. Yes, I know what's happening in the industry. I also have the thrive to go and identify, or rather bring about that bridging gap. Then I believe a lot of things can happen. And that's the take from the academia and from my end.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. I believe that universities did not fully adjust the curriculum, because the question is, if we just teach students by theory and then using this ChatGPT or maybe Cursor, in 1 minute they can develop a model. But the question is where this model came from, and next, where it can be used. I think the most basic problem in the universities is the ignorance of math. I believe that the universities must teach a AI-driven, or you can say applied math for AI. Discrete mathematics, linear algebra, and probability and statistics are the building blocks of AI. I would call machine learning as a statistical learning instead, right? So what I did last maybe 9 years in Sejong University is to teach mathematics in Python and explain how each model or each topic can be used in AI. So we should go from down to top, then we come back from down. So teaching, for example, linear regression, I think it takes only less than 1 hour to teach linear regression. Then the student asks where I can use it. Do you know what is the problem? The student did not feel, where do I need this one? But if you teach linear regression in probability and statistics just to model data, then the student can understand what is learning. Learning is simple improvement, right? So from modeling statistics, then we can come to the learning. So in summary, I can say there must be a chain of courses that lead students to finally come to the machine learning. Machine learning in theory, it's very easy, but in practice, students cannot use it. Then they can go for generative AI, then they can go for ethical AI, and these all together, a combination of all together, can help students to easily utilize this one in their practice.
Thank you. I have two sides of the coin for this question. One, as Professor mentioned, they can't actually make every time changes to the basic curriculum of an university to adopt the new changes in the technology field. As I said, from the career I was moving on a bit, early days of R and Python kind of stuff. Today, when I see, within months, we are seeing a lot of changes in the technology field. If colleges start sitting on the change of curriculum on those lines, the moment they create content, they train their trainers, the moment they start, something else will fall in place. But at the same time, if we can make some changes on the application side of some of the subjects, at least on the technical front, technology related, programming languages, instead of just teaching the theoretical aspects, as Professor already mentioned, uh, if we can have a combination of a practical approach along with the theoretical aspects, that makes a strong foundation for students. Two, from students' angle, they should always give a instead of picking up the easy way of learning, that's what I keep seeing across different nations. Instead of, if you want to jump on learning an AI or use an AI, a ChatGPT kind of platform for your current scenario, you will be able to do it good, better, but you will not be a technical person for the future. Why? Because when we look at from the industry perspective, if I have to give an internship for a student, or we are hiring somebody for our organization, we are looking for students who are having some kind of application knowledge, which he has rightly mentioned. There is a gap in the academic curriculum and the industry expectations, but still we can make sure if we focus on the application side of every subject and every student look at every topic on the why factor of it, why I'm learning, where I'm supposed to use it, then that actually gives a perspective of learning better, deeper, so that we understand the foundation level of theoretical aspects and the top layer of application on it. Even if we are using a ready-made tool, make sure you have that why factor, answer your question for every topic you pick up. That gives you a direction. I don't suggest this young generation people to pick up something which is easy to learn. The fresher first year student who is not even been covered on Python is able to run algorithms, showcase some results, all good. But unless until we don't deep dive into strong understanding of the fundamentals, which colleges, universities are trying their level best, as Professor mentioned, obviously the industry interaction with universities where industry applicant practitioners can come up to classrooms, explain them the use cases instead of topics, and make them understand the why factor, why we are picking up XYZ algorithm for a given problem statement. If that is the approach you are learning on everything you work, maybe you will slowly pick up that industry expectations pathway, and that will give better perspectives when we look at job opportunities or the way industry goes. It should be a joint venture, definitely from industry and academia.
Okay, thank you. So as my colleagues here has mentioned, actually in IBM, we are recruiting actually every day people. And I can say that yes, this problem of this skill gap between academia or maybe undergrad or even for postgrad, like master researchers, if I can say that, there's some sort of a gap between theoretical skill or maybe this university, what's learned in the university and the real world. I can call it like not industry world, like but real world engagements or experience. We have somehow, if I can say, a structured approach in IBM on how we can address this problem. But by the way, I consider it a problem because it is somehow can affect your future in industry or how you can find a job. But before going to this, yes, there is some sort of rule, of course, in the university itself to somehow adapting the curriculum. Of course, as my colleagues in academia here mentioned, it's not an easy task to maybe adapt it every day. But at least actually the students themselves or the researchers that want to move to industry world need to do some sort of homework. This homework should be like getting some sort of awareness about what's going in this kind of technologies that target technologies. Actually, I'm not talking, by the way, about AI specifically, maybe data AI or whatever technology that they want to be employed in industry. So they need to be aware about what is emerging now in the market, if I can say that. And now going to the what can I say, the approach that we are following in IBM or industry in general, we can say that we are approaching two dimensions. We are here in this region, are working with different kind of clients. And actually, I'm stressing on word of this client word because it is what is going in real world. We are not just like in silos. We are working with engagement with our clients. So the first thing that we need to break the ice with our fresh grad or new hires is how to deal with clients. So engaging the fresh grads with our meetings with the clients, how we can speak to your clients, how you can make sure that you are demonstrating the correct aspects of the products that you are talking about is a very important thing, especially in Dubai here, because Dubai here is, or UAE in general, is a hub for regional offices for a lot of enterprises like IBM, Google, Microsoft, Oracle, a lot of them, if I can say that. So it is what I want to mention here. It is not always about technical skills. It can also get about some sort of soft skills. So you can be very good in technical skills, but you cannot just like speak to a client in very small words. And I'm talking about, by the way, I'm talking about how you can get you in a position to talk to the client, and also maybe your language skill, for example, specifically in this area of the world. Now, from technical perspective, we have also structured approach, which is we need first to get the fresh hire somehow familiar to the portfolio or the tools that we are using, and this is done by some sort of boot camps. And I mean with boot camps, get the fresh hired and trying to enroll them on some sort of like programs, if I can say that, where they can learn about how they deal with some sort of tools specifically to their rules. Maybe if this fresh grad is working with like an AI engineer, we need first to make sure that they are aware about some sort of simple concepts like prompt engineering, tuning, how you can maybe like do some sort of deployment of a model, or maybe doing some sort of a simple application. Having this fundamental background established as a foundation in our fresh hired, it makes things easy afterwards. Now we're talking about the client-facing or soft skills and technical skills. Here's the third and final dimension, which is the mentoring. So every fresh hired, we are doing some sort of called a buddy, IBM buddy. So this IBM buddy is somehow like teaching or not teaching, like mentoring this fresh hire on how they can go and grow their career. So it is not only the first step that he or she goes into our company or industry, but how you can grow up your career, how you can also continuously working on enhancing your skills. So it goes through some sort of mentoring program. So three things: soft skills, technical skills, and mentoring. That's it.
So in my understanding, it's like soft skill is something that you have to have such that you won't be replaced by AI, right? Yeah. Okay. So these experts have said a lot, and so basically I concur with everything they have said, and so I just want to say something out of my experience when we handle this Master of Science in AI degree program, and basically there are two things that I think that are very important, for our students. One is the foundation, the other is application. Okay, so foundation is like the student need to know the foundation, fundamental knowledge about AI. So in some sense, avoid using AI. Okay, may be a good thing. Okay, when you study AI, okay, so you need to know, for example, how to build a model, right? Okay, what's the intricate mechanisms used, okay, behind the AI model. So this is very important. And also, when you have fundamental knowledge about the AI, you can build up your own system, right? Okay, so also because none of the for example large language models is 100% reliable, right? So you cannot just take whatever solution you get as is. Okay, you have to know how they found this solution and what's the problem and how to overcome the problem, right? So that's the fundamental part. And the on the other side, and the application part, we do
need to interact with the industry sectors. Okay, so we know what's going on, right, in the industry. So when the students step out, okay, from the university to the industry, they know, okay, what kind of skills they need to have, right, in order to develop their career in the industry. So, for example, we invite people from the industry to work with our students. Okay, for example, they can give our student a project to test a model that they developed to solves a certain problem. Okay, for example, there is a empathetic AI, which is a model that's tuned. Okay, tuned. It's tuned from the large language model, but they have psychological skill. Okay, when they interact with human beings. Okay, so then we involve a student to use this model, this tool, and evaluate this tool, so they know, okay, this is a way, right, to use AI, right, to solve, a problem that the human may have. Okay, so this is the application side. All right. So, okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Hangli. So the last one, last topic of discussion, I think Canada, I think everybody knows that Canada lost an election due to deep fake. So with respect to this, how do you address the ethical risk proposed by generative model? This is for the industry. And in terms of Chat GPT, do you suggest any rules and regulation need to be set for the university for academicians? So this is for the academicians which I'm proposing. And for the industry, do we have to have an ethical risk? How do we address it? Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So while we're talking about AI, I think it's most important to also touch upon what are the risks involved in it and how are people mitigating on this. Probably there is something called as post-quantum cryptography, which I do not know many of you would be aware of it. And this is something which is catching up the market. I mean, what does it mean? Probably the moment quantum gets into its advancement, you would see all that is currently in the place getting vanished, and you would not be able to even sustain them. And unless and until companies have geared up to move to the next level, which is cryptography using quantum, you will not be able to have your cipher keys or so-called as hidden keys being up in place there. So this particular topic on post-quantum cryptography is, sought a lot of relevance both in the industry as well as in the academia. Now, simply what I would say here is, as academicians, I think it's a key for us to bridge this gap in terms of bringing in policies. And there are many policies which are getting generated, which even it's important for academia to have an hard press and also be informed how government or how the deciding authorities can be informed based upon these practices. So the key role, I believe, from the academia end is to sensitize students, at the same time work on these leading technologies by giving them some kind of prevalences.
Okay, thank you for the question. I believe the only solution to preserve ethics is AI against AI. So, for example, in academic, recently, with the ChatGPT or other friends, students easily can do whatever you ask them, right? So any question you ask, simply they can generate it. If I go back to the previous question, the most important thing that we want from a student is to have a mindset, right? If a student fail to show the mindset, even with a very advanced coding or answers, a professor easily can understand that this is not real, right? Then we have some new tools like Zero GPT or some other things that can easily detect that this content has been generated by AI or not, right? And let's come to more advanced techniques, not like a student cheating. I believe AI itself is ethical, but misuse of AI is dangerous, right? So, with the advancements of AI, we can use AI against AI in order to find out where misuse happens. Very easy example, you think of the fighting between police people and thefts, right? So as far as the thefts, they have more advanced tools to steal something. We have also advancements in police that they can have new techniques to detect anomalies, right? So I believe in any aspects of AI, if we have some other AI agents that they can detect such kind of misuse, easily we can overcome the problem.
I'll try addressing both education and industry. From institution side, uh, when we are trying to create some policies on usage of ChatGPT in the process, uh, what I would request universities is we have to educate students on exactly where they can get benefit out of these platforms instead of using those platforms for a easy workload. I see most of the office staff, if they have to reply a mail, they're using chat OpenAI and they'll write a mail which is more perfect than an English professor's English. But slowly going in that particular direction, a student completing an assignment with along with a code, everything perfect, may be addressing today's task, but it is not going to help them for their future. If I am taking that same student for an internship, the day one I'll throw only a problem statement. I'll make sure that the student don't have access to internet and I'll ask them to solve my problem using some programming platforms. Imagine every day that is the future and that is the way we handle workloads in industry and prepare ourselves with a deeper understanding. I'm not saying don't use these updated tools. Definitely we should use. For example, we maybe a self evaluation. We evaluate ourselves on a particular topic, and wherever we see there is a gap, maybe there we can grab more information on that specific topic from these chat gpts or open platforms, which helps us to learn something better instead of using that to save time to submit an assignment is not the way we should, because at least you should understand the code, at least you should know how to manipulate an existing code. Today's generation, you have access to Kaggle, GitHub kind of platforms where you get every solution, but somewhere you should really understand each letter in that code and you should know where exactly you should, how to manipulate that existing code for your future workload. At least if you learn that skill set in between, that makes sense. So using tools is good, but we should restrict students to use that for easy tasks are handling a day-to-day kind of task activities. We encourage them to use it for more research, more learning areas, which will benefit them to prove or learn something on the application side of it, which will help them gain good internships or better job opportunities. And today's competition, you have to prove yourself something different from the existing. I have 20 students attending an interview, we have only one job. So how this one candidate is going to dominate the rest 19 makes sense. So always give a thought around these lines, and any new development is good, as all of us are talking about different technologies, and we'll see a lot more. Almost all these data science, AI, everything will be grabbed by quantum in couple of years, and Gen AI will go to a next 3-4 levels in next 3-4-5 years. You'll see a different world together. But jumping onto easy way of life and getting a strong foundation to for the future makes a difference from my perspective. And yeah, I think
Okay, so AI risks and ethical AI actually is a very important and fundamental topic actually, which is emerged maybe in the early stages when AI and data science came into place. And in industry world, if I can say that, managing AI risk is a very crucial and the critical point, especially for ethical AI. You don't want to have like your bank, if you have some sort of a business and you are developing an AI application, you don't want this application to be maybe like biased to a specific group, specific race, a specific gender. Having such things can actually lead to like a big penalties to your organization in the existence of maybe AI, like a lot of AI acts. So managing this AI risk, ethical AI is an important point, but how we can manage these things? Actually, if I can say that from my organization, from IPM perspective, we were aware about this problem early years ago, and we have some sort of a platform which is called watsonx.governance. Ethical AI and AI risks actually is lies into something called AI governance. So in this case, with our some sort of platform, you can do some sort of detecting if you have some sort of a bias, drift, deviation of your data or maybe your output from what's supposed to be. And there is also another important dimension in ethical AI and AI risk, which is compliance to AI regulations. A lot of regulated industries here in Dubai or in UAE, like telecommunications and banking. So you need to be aware that your application or the service that you are providing to such enterprises are compliant to some sort of AI regulations and industry, because there is some sort of global regulation and also some sort of national regulation. So handling this kind of AI risks, skills, and also some sort of compliance can be handled through enterprise tools like IBM ones, like governance, for example. But what if your organization maybe cannot afford this kind of tools, if I can say that? So you need to have some sort of other approaches. One of the usual approaches that we are now dealing with is how to some sort of robust or grounded truth data. So in this case, instead of like depending on the knowledge base of the large language model itself, which leads in some ways to maybe to hallucination, if I can say that, we can use some sort of common approach now, like RAG, RAG for retrieval augmented generation approaches, for example, to have some sort of enterprise knowledge base that we can depend on to extract our data. Or in some other industries also, we can use some sort of what is called man in the loop, which is some sort of industries like legal industries or healthcare industries that works with very specific and the private, high privacy data, if I can say that. We can have some sort of human in the middle of the AI life cycle to audit what's happening here. This kind of maybe like approaches, a way of enterprise approaches, can help in managing this AI risk while keep compliant to regulations, both globally and nationally, if I can say that.
Okay. A lot of AI problems are actually the human problems. Okay, so especially in the very higher level, like protectionism. Okay, so cultural differences, all these kind of things. Okay, so the understanding of ethics, right, is totally human thing. Okay, so we can make AI more ethical sensitive. Yeah, we can do that, but in the end, it's still in the hands of people, right? So, as an educator, we do need to let our students learn the ethics, right, and how important the ethics is. Okay, and so even though the ethics itself is relative, okay, for example, there is Cantonism, okay, there is utilitarianism. So you can any problem that can be understood from different aspects, right? And also different people may have different thoughts. Okay, but we need to know, right? Everybody needs to know ethics. This is a kind of a bottom line. All right. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Hong Lim, as well as the complete team was here. It was very informative. It was a great discussion to enrich with the possibility of AI in technologies. Thank you all. Thank you. Over to Nishant. Thank you all.